So my friends, welcome to a new crypto update video. Bitcoin at 94,300 US dollars, little movement yesterday. To be honest, I would have expected significantly more volatility, at least at the beginning of the week, but the US markets also didn't really move. European markets were relatively calm. The DEX moved up a bit again, so we are now at least in the position friends, but we will definitely get to that shortly. We will definitely start with Bitcoin now. We will continue with Ethereum, Solana, and then move over to the ERMOS stock markets. So make sure to stay tuned until the end. Before we start, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and feel free to join the free Telegram talk and Signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, feel free to join. Yesterday, there was a small SUI update video. If you want to watch it again, all the links are in the group. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we discuss here, feel free to sign up with the link below in the video description at my partner exchange BingX. As mentioned, the link is below in the video description. Currently, there are plenty of bonuses to grab, and you also support the channel or me by doing so, and you can trade and stake there. In the end, you can do everything at BingX. All right, then let's move over to Bitcoin. 94,300 US dollars at the moment. Let's go into the 1 hour time frame where we see that yesterday there weren't really any significant movements. Even if we zoom in a bit here, we ultimately see that the inefficiency at 95,500 US dollars wasn't even, well, triggered. The 200 SMA on the 1 hour view was also not touched. This means we still have room to move upwards. I currently have two alternative scenarios, at least, regarding the upward movement as well as for a potential short position. After it was very quiet yesterday, and I'm still waiting for us to get another higher, albeit smaller, push upwards during the day or until the Fed interest rate decision. This area from 95,600 up to approximately 96,400 is simply significant for me. This is point one, where one might consider a short position for the market, so that we effectively have this downward movement towards the golden pocket, and then possibly, even though this is really not exemplary at all, but for those who are a bit of pattern enthusiasts, we could then form a kind of head and shoulders chart pattern here, which would be option number one. Option number two, which I actually still prefer a bit more, is simply another push towards 98 or 100,000 US dollars, just to pick up the liquidity in this area up here, and also to fill these wicks and inefficiencies here. Whether we get that high will be revealed in the next few days. If we take a look at the heat map, we see that we mostly have it at 96K. This is simply the price range where we currently have the golden pocket. The next price range would still be 98K. You see, it is nicely segmented again and fits exactly one-to-one Chipa on one hand here with the golden pocket, and on the other hand, up here with this inefficiency with the wicks that we still have up here. So those are the areas. And if we then also look at the 3-day heat map, if it would load. So in the end, we see the same picture, 96, 98K. Those are the points that matter in the next few hours, and those are exactly the two areas where we could, in the end, yes, turn around or initiate the sell-off. So that's what I'm paying attention to throughout the day. In terms of news, as we already discussed yesterday, there's not really much happening today. Tomorrow will be significantly more exciting. Fed interest rate decision plus speech from Powell, depending on how that turns out. I don't think it will turn out to be so bullish. I can't imagine at all that the Fed will cave into Trump. That's why I rather expect that we might go up a bit more today or maybe tomorrow at most, and then we'll see that drop downwards. So honestly, I'm still a bit bearish about it. I don't think we'll see a direct move towards 100K or a new all-time high at the moment, but rather we should first fill this inefficiency on the daily view down to at least 85,000 before we start worrying about other things. Let's move over to Ethereum. How does it look there? Ethereum is still in a complete sideways phase, so nothing has changed from yesterday. 0.0 boring sideways phase. Also here, no change compared to yesterday. Still the chance for me that we might push into the area of 1900 to just under 2,000 US dollars. Even when we look at the smaller time frames, absolutely no change. So it's really quite dull. The only positive aspect of the whole thing is that we have had increasing trading volume for days with a continued clear, accumulation or sideways phase. That's the only positive thing I can take from this, which still supports the hope a bit. that we might go up here again, take the liquidity, and then make this bigger drop. But you just have to wait and see. $1,800 far too little movement at the moment. Also Solana, same game, no movement, absolute sideways phase, and even a bit more of a downtrend, just like with Ethereum, just like with Bitcoin. So the altcoin market is completely dead. We're just waiting for impulses here, which we don't have at the moment. These might come tomorrow when the Fed interest rate decision is made, but at the moment it's relatively dull. Yes, the Dow Jones continues to move in our direction, so we still have room here, as we mentioned yesterday, $42,000. We haven't arrived yet. We already talked about it yesterday, that there is at least the possibility that we could still reach up here. I'll stick with that for now. Let's move over to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq has already reached the golden pocket. And of course, there's still a little bit of room up to 20,500 points. So this last push is definitely still possible here, at least to tap liquidity above this high and then down. So nothing has changed there either. And S&P 500, same game. Here too, we are still in the golden pocket. Little change. If we should break above here, then probably even the bullish variant, but I still don't expect that. Maximum here for me is the 5,800 points mark. Again, possibly testing this high, then potentially selling off. So you see, the markets are waiting for something. The markets are definitely kept in suspense because we are right in the middle of the golden pocket everywhere. Crypto still has some upward potential. I just don't see the stock markets. At the moment, unless Paul Houtberg announces something, the interest rates or makes bullish prospects that we should see 100,000 interest rate cuts in the coming weeks. But as I said, I don't expect that. That means something is being waited for. And if we look at all the RSI, if we look at the golden pocket and such, we should really be cautious here. Yes, and then last but not least, the euro against the US dollar. The short position continues. We talked about it last week. So those still waiting for the long position, it still applies. The 200 SMA has now moved into the area of €1.11 on the 4-hour view. Very good sign. Plus the golden pocket is down here. So I also expect another volatile phase here, that we go down again and then, let's say, continue to pump upwards. And before I forget, gold. Gold pumped extremely yesterday. Our order hasn't been picked up yet, but what isn't can still become. So I would never say never here, because last time it was the same game and we were also perfectly rejected at the calm golden pocket. Let me zoom in a bit here. There. We were also perfectly rejected at the golden pocket here. So there's a possibility that in the end, our scenario still occurs here, that we say, okay, we go down here again. In my opinion, this is definitely still possible and can definitely still happen. And that's why I'm waiting down here for the long position. Or we should keep an eye on the 200 SMA. And there's nothing more to say at the moment. Otherwise, later there will be a small altcoin update video. Which one I don't know yet. I'll tell you later around 12:15. And otherwise, I would say that's it from my side. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe, activate the bell, and we'll hear from each other later in the new video. Until then, bye-bye and stay cool.